Good morning. Here we are in Dalemain, beautiful country house on Sunday morning. The clocks have just sprung forward, so God knows what time it is. No, I do know. It is about 6:30, and I seem to have arrived at the car park in Dalemain, where it's a bit of a VW transporter convention site. There are transporters all around me, and there's another one just arrived as well. I feel left out, although I have got a VW, so that's not so bad. And I did sleep in here the other night as well, which was good, but not quite as comfortable as a California or an ocean, which I seem to be surrounded by at the moment. Perhaps I need to get myself on. Anyway, so today, Sunday, we're going for a bit of a run, a bit of a recce. Recce of the Lakeland 100 course, doing 32 miles. So we're finishing here, starting off at Buttermere, which is 32 miles, 35 miles, to the west of us, over on the other side of the lakes, and then run back here. So I think we're going to get a coach this morning over there, and then run back here. So it should be good. So this was organised by the Lakeland 100 guys, and just a very good opportunity to do a bit of a recce of quite a long stretch of the actual route itself. And I think this part of it I'll be doing in the dark anyway, come the event in July. So a really good opportunity to actually see what this is like. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning, very frosty. Blue sky, so I think we're going to be blessed with sunshine again. But yeah, see how this recce gets on. Speak to you later. So here we are on the Lakes 100 recce, or Lakeland 100 recce. We've just set out from Buttermere, which is over my shoulder, down that direction, and behind me is a string of about 150 runners. 150 on a recce. There were 3 busloads of us this morning. 3 busloads going from Dalemain, up to Buttermere. Couldn't get my head around that. So many people on a recce. It's a mini event in itself. Yeah, so just keep plodding along. It's a nice day. Weather's good. Good bunch of people. Just another 5 hours to go. Everyone I've spoken to about why they're doing this recce, it's pretty much the same thing. Everyone wants to. It's not so much about route finding. I thought it was going to be much more about route finding, but it's not, because there is a great booklet of turn-by-turn directions, which I missed that one. Apparently we were supposed to print it off and bring it with us, but I didn't. So there. But I need to print that off and have a look at it. But no, there's a proper turn-by-turn guide, which is good. Everyone kind of swears by. So apparently a lot of people said that they want to come and do this recce to get an understanding of the course, yes, of the route, but also just to kind of see where all the main hills are, the runnable parts, all that sort of thing, and also just to meet some of the people who are doing the run. It's definitely good to get an understanding of the hills, just purely because when you're out here running, if you didn't know, it can be quite demoralising when you hit a big hill
which we have just done back there. So in that respect it's good, and also the runnable parts as well. If you know that there's a good runnable section after a hill, it's good to know. It just keeps your spirits up when you're on a 100 miler. So that's good. I'm just looking forward to the next water stop. So we are, or I am, we are, as a collective group of runners, we are 4.5 miles outside of Pooley Bridge, which is where I stayed last night. Going through this beautiful wood at the moment, which is quite nice because it's very cool. It's very cool, and it's a bit of a light relief from the sun, would you believe it? Because it's bloody hot. 4.5 miles from Pooley Bridge, and I think maybe, what would that be? Maybe another 1 or 2 onto Dalemain. So not too far to go. About ready to stop. Holy shit! Excuse my French. I'm absolutely knackered. That is 33 k's. Sorry, I keep saying k's. That is 33 miles of recce from Buttermere to Dalemain, which is part of the Lakeland 100, which I've been doing today, Sunday, first day of summer apparently. The clocks leaped forward last night. So I've actually done that run on 1 hour's less sleep, and I can feel it. Genuinely, I can feel it. So probably in terms of a training run, way too long. Don't go out and do a training run that's 33 miles long with 2,000 metres of ascent in it. It's just ridiculous. It just kills you. It kills you, and you got to then recover from it. But in terms of a recce for the Lakeland 100, that was, I've got to say, that was spot on. Met a load of nice people on the run, but also just in terms of understanding where some of the big hills are and where the runnable parts are of the course, of that particular part of the course, it's just invaluable. Like, for instance, Buttermere, out of Buttermere, incredibly hilly. Take it steady, get over all those hills, and then the rest of it, all the way into Dalemain, is actually quite runnable tracks. It's all kind of old drovers roads and single tracks, which is really, really runnable. So save some energy at the beginning of that and then run the rest of it. So that is one reason why you should do a recce, because you get an understanding of what the course is like. Not necessarily from the navigational point of view, but from a point of view of understanding the terrain, where the hills are, flats, runnable bits. It's invaluable, because if you don't recce and you're at a low point in a 100-mile race and you come up to a big hill, it just knocks your confidence even more. It sends you down to a deeper low, all that sort of stuff. But if you know that there's a hill coming, because you recce'd it before, and you know where that hill ends, and you know there's a runnable piece afterwards, you can manage those lows. And that's only through doing the recce that you can get a sense of these things. You can then start to manage your race. Anyway, I feel like I'm waffling. Forgive me, because I have just run a shitload of miles. But I'm going to go. I need to eat and I need to drink. So I'll speak later to this camera. So here we are, final day of 3 up in the Lake District. I'm about to get back in the car and travel down to London, which is going to be 6 hours. But who would want to leave this place, eh? Who would want to leave this place when it is so stunning like this?
That's been 3 days in a row. It's been absolutely glorious sunshine, and it's going to be a wrench to get in the car and drive away from it. But I've had a good 3 days, not least yesterday doing the recce run, which was fantastic. And it was just really, in terms of how I feel after that run, not too bad actually. So what was it, a 33-mile recce run with about 2,000 metres of ascent, which is, it's a long way for a training run. And the surprising thing was, there was 120 of us, so it was organised by the Lakeland 100 guys. 3 busloads of people from Dalemain over to Buttermere, and then we ran back to Dalemain. And I was really genuinely surprised how competitive it was right from the get-go, because it's quite hilly coming out of Buttermere, but it didn't stop all the egos kicking in, and God, it was a hell of a pace. So not only was the recce good for all those good reasons around kind of route finding, understanding terrain, running with a pack, running with all your kit, all that sort of stuff, the importance of actually doing a recce, but also surprisingly it was good just to kind of get back into the swing of things in terms of race management. And what I mean by that is just all those things that during race day can kind of throw you, but if you don't learn how to manage them, it will throw you. So things like not getting caught up in going at somebody else's faster pace, just running your own race, getting your nutrition right, getting your hydration right, all that sort of good stuff. It was actually quite good for that yesterday, because I really had to push myself not to kind of go off too fast, which would have killed me on the second half of it. And actually quite a few people blew up on the second half. Looking at the stats, I managed to negative split it, which was good, which means I ran a good, well-managed race. So in that respect, it was good doing the recce. Yeah, and then the other part of it really, from yesterday's point of view, was the recovery. After the race, I was absolutely knackered, I've got to admit. 33 miles of running, 2,000 metres of ascent. I was very, very tired after it. But I got back into the hotel at Pooley Bridge. What did I do? I bought myself a pint of Blue Top milk and necked that, just for the protein and the fats. And then I went straight into the restaurant and had myself a nice chicken curry. So plenty of protein, plenty of carbohydrate, refueling the body again. And then I went and did some, actually before dinner, I'd done some stretches, just some dynamic stretches, just to kind of, stop the muscles getting too tight, working on my legs and my hamstrings. And then I didn't bring a foam roller with me, I never do, but I just had a 3-litre bottle of fizzy water, which I just used as a foam roller for my calves, just to kind of roll those out, which was really good. Painful. It was, got to admit, it was agony actually, but it's well worth doing if you can get your hands, either take a foam roller with you when you go and do these recce runs or long runs or away from home, or just use anything you can get your hands on. Can of baked beans, a 3-litre bottle of water, something that you can just kind of roll up and down on, which I did. I'm sure the people in the room next to me must have thought, what the hell's going on in there, because there were screams of agony coming out as I was rolling it. But it was well worth doing. And then what did I do? So after dinner, I also went out for a bit of a brisk walk down Ullswater, again just to loosen off the muscles. If you kind of get sat down after a run like that, you seize up, which is no good for anybody. But going for that walk just kind of stimulated my legs again, just kind of got the blood flowing, which was good. I woke up this morning a bit stiff, but not too bad at all. Certainly no real kind of lactic acid build up or anything like that. So walking downstairs was fairly straightforward, which is always a good sign as to whether or not you're feeling good or bad after a run. Is can you walk downstairs, not upstairs but downstairs, without your quads and your hammies giving you absolute agony. So I was able to do that, which was brilliant. Went out again for a brisk walk this morning, just to kind of work everything through. And now I'm just contemplating leaving this beautiful place. But I've got to go. 6 hours back down to London. Anyway, it's been a fantastic weekend, and a lot learnt from that recce.